LeBron has to decide. That's the key word, because there is a world in which he might not be a Laker. Just putting that out there. Wendy, what do fans need to know about the decision facing LeBron and the Lakers later this summer?
Yeah, so LeBron has 1 year left on his contract. He has the option to extend, but he can't extend he can't even discuss it at all until August. So it's not an issue for the next 6 weeks. At that time, he is eligible to sign a 2-year extension, which can be 1 guaranteed and 1 player option, which is the route I believe he would go. Obviously, I've checked in on this, and the answer I've gotten back is no decisions have been made. And that's a reasonable answer. Now, I will say to you that I don't think LeBron wants to leave the Lakers. I think he's committed to being there. I think he gets frustrated at times, and certainly with the roster construction and moves over the last year, he hadn't liked it. But I don't think he's really looking to leave. Having said that, if he does not extend, which he could not extend for a number of reasons, we're going to have the beginning of a stress point, and we're going to be watching the Lakers very closely.
Wow. I mean, just the possibility of it is amazing. So, RC, are we living in a world, do you think, in which LeBron James leaves the Lakers sooner rather than later?
Well, here's the thing. We've lived in many worlds where LeBron James has left teams, right? We've seen it in Cleveland twice. We saw it in Miami. So from that standpoint, we know that LeBron will make decisions to pack up his bags and go play elsewhere. But I do believe that Los Angeles is the place for him. I believe he moved his family out there. His kids are thriving there. All of his businesses are thriving. And many times when we talked about his move to LA, it wasn't just about basketball, even though they won a championship in the bubble. So to me, I believe he stays in LA. I believe LeBron James wants to be a Laker. I think he wants to be in Los Angeles. And he has a team that's willing to work with him, that's willing to listen to him when it comes to which guys he wants on the team. Now, they're strapped for cash right now. They don't have a ton of cap space, and they need to make some moves now under new head coach Darvin Ham. But I believe LeBron is a Laker until he retires or until he's trying to get Bronny in the league on his team.
Yeah, and that would be interesting, too. He talked about that, remember, not long ago. Do you think there's a chance that he could actually leave him?
You know what? When it comes down to LeBron, right, his thing is striving for greatness and continue to add to his legacy. And if he don't see a team, organization doing the same thing, striving for greatness, LeBron James don't have a problem with leaving and relocating. I think when you think about LeBron at this point in his career, right, we keep saying, you know, everything is icing on the cake, and rightfully so, but he doesn't look at it that way. LeBron James still feels like he's a young buck in this league. He feels like that he has a lot more to offer, and we heard him say, hey, I want to play with Bronny. He still has that, what is it, Wendy, 40,000 square foot house down there in Akron, Ohio. So look, let's not act like he's just committed and in bed with the Lakers, because it's not that, right? He has already delivered a championship there. He has nothing else to prove.
So what do you think they need to do to get, oh, go ahead, Wendy, real quick.
I will just point out, if you want to have a conspiracy theory, watch the Cavs' moves over the next couple of weeks. They are going to extend Darius Garland, their all-star point guard. That is going to happen. But they have a couple of other moves that they can do that would potentially eat away their cap space for next year, which is what I would think that they would do as a young team. They should never be a free agent player. But if the Cavs do not retain Colin Sexton, and they do not extend Karis LeVert, which is 2 things on their menu of options, and they leave open their cap space in 2024 or 2023, it's interesting food for thought. Just keep an eye on that.
I love that conspiracy theory. I love it. All right, so real quick, you said LeBron strives for greatness, still sees himself as a young buck. So what do they need to do in LA to help him achieve that greatness?
Need to find a way to get Kyrie Irving. Need to find a way to land Kyrie Irving. And I'm being serious. We talk about Kyrie Irving, and rightfully so, because our opinion changed based on facts. And the fact is that since he's left LeBron James, he has not been the Kyrie Irving that we seen in the Cleveland Cavaliers jersey. Look, when him and LeBron James are on the floor together when they was in Cleveland in the playoffs, 39-13. He played his most consistent, elite basketball alongside LeBron James. If LeBron James is trying to win another championship, Kyrie Irving is the guy that he needs to pair along with Anthony Davis to deliver.
Being handed out today alone is what we're talking about.
way over $1 billion.
For those 4 guys.
Yeah.
Those 4 guys, it's almost $1 billion.
By the way, for all the people out there like, oh, look at these players, they make so much. How much are their owners making?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. That's a good
When
point.
I came into the league, the max contract was $14 million a year. I got gray hair now.
Okay, the one guy I did not see on that list, LeBron James. What about him? Where is
So
his money?
He is extension. It's in the bank. He's extension eligible. He is not extension eligible until next month. But obviously, he is watching very closely what the Lakers do. You're not going to hear us talking a whole lot about the Lakers. And I mean, they will sign guys, but we're not expecting impactful names. They've got a basically bargain bin shop. And so the real question is, will LeBron look at this Lakers team? He can extend for 2 years and $100 million. I mean, he's at the point where he's going to get $50 million a year if he extends. That is not anything to sneeze at. And so, will he extend and commit to this Lakers team? Will he not extend because he's not sure he wants to commit to this Lakers team? Or will he let it go just to find out whether the Lakers can make maneuvering? So Russell Westbrook's contract is going to be expired after next year. If LeBron lets his contract expire, the Lakers could have cap space, and he could do what James Harden is doing, which is lower his salary to help the team. But we'll see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm LeBron James. I sneezed out $100 million. I'm a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. Wendy, I'm a billionaire. If I'm LeBron James, I'm not signing a 2-year extension. I get that the money's there. But, look, Bronny's coming up in the game. We've heard that talked about multiple times, him wanting to play with his son. And also, if I'm LeBron James, hey, I made a tangible move to try to get Russell Westbrook. It didn't work out year 1. Let's see what happens in year 2. And I need to see what moves Jenny Buss and Rob Pelinka are doing with this team that can keep us in contention to help me win another world championship. And until I see the right moves being made, I'll go a year-by-year deal.
As Brian knows, earlier in LeBron's career, especially when he went back to Cleveland, as you said, J-Will, he signed short-term deals, right? 1- and 2-year deals. Why? To put pressure on the Cavs, to keep making moves to make the team better. When he went to LA, what did he do? He signed a 4-year deal that locked him in there for a long time, and he sort of ceded a little bit of the control back to the team, right? So to J-Will's point, if he doesn't extend, that is one way for him to exert some control on the Lakers to say, all right, I'm watching to see what you're doing. Let's see where we're at.
I'm going to be honest, I will never sneeze at $50 million a year.
No.
I'm just trying to think hypothetically if I were LeBron James, what he would do.
But what I think is so interesting is this graphic right here. $129 million committed to 3 dudes. You got Malik Monk, who they want to bring back. Do they have enough money to even bring him back? What is it that they can do, Brian, to make this team better?
They can do this.
They can pray.
Looking at that list
do
of
that.
key free agents, that's a rough list.
Says all you-
That's a
it
rough
honestly
list.
says all you need to know. If Malik Monk is your primary guy you need to bring back to your team, it's why they were a 33-win team. Yes, they had injuries, but they didn't have enough talent around those guys, and they don't have the flexibility to go out and get talent around those guys. That's why the Kyrie Irving, potential Hail Mary for them, that was their one get-out-of-jail-free card.
Right.
Now that seemingly is not there, they're really in a bind.
Are they wasting his final seasons?
I mean, are they wasting it? LeBron James put himself in this situation, too. I mean, there's culpability here for both.
He certainly wasn't opposed to trading for Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, so, my thing is, look, even if LeBron James, I think, plays at an MVP-type level, I still think you have a team that finishes middle of the pack in the Western Conference. It's unfortunate, but I don't see any moves that they could realistically make that will all of a sudden make me think that they could be contenders in the top 3 of the West.
They're going to go look for some athletic wing players. I mean, Juan Toscano Anderson, who was not tendered by the Warriors yesterday, he is going to be an unrestricted free agent. That's the guy they're looking at. Josh Jackson.
Wow, it's like who?
I mean,
Everybody's going to say
the
who
12th guy
in
in the
LA.
defending champions. That's who we're talking about.
Unbelievable.
Buckle up, man.
That's it.
Unbelievable that he's in this position, and now it's on LA to do something with nothing.
By the way, he's in a great position. I mean, the guy has won 4 championships, considered one of the greatest players of all time. I know that we get into
And
this
he's a
thing.
billionaire.
Pretty good.
I think we get into it, though, because he's not satisfied. He wants a championship.
Tom Brady's
again.
not satisfied.
True.
I hear where we go with it, but still, put it into the overall context of his career. He did just win a championship.
He's
2.5
driving
years
his
ago.
Ferrari back to.
I was going to say, I'll swap with him. I love being here, but I'll swap with him. It'd be okay.
There you go. What about his Ferrari?
I mean, he's driving his Ferrari or his Lamborghini or his Bentley back to Brentwood to his giant estate. I mean, he's okay.
Nice.
And they did raise a banner in LA. So.
Yeah. That's like Jay Will's life.
Yeah.
The Ferrari, the Bentley.